Hey, good evening, everybody. I know we just had week 4. We got week 5 now, though. So, and what a match it's gonna be. We got Tsukaba this week. Yeah, it's the matchup for this is rough. Even though this is probably the easiest team to plan for, just because, you know, I probably know what 6 are coming out. Stopping them is an entirely different thing. So, we're gonna see how that goes, because it might not end well. But I have some strats to deal with this team, and I'll go into like my planning and stuff after, and my thoughts behind like the move choices that I have and whatnot. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. Maybe this won't age well. Maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. But there are some leads that I really don't want to see. The first one being Grimmsnarl, Chandelure. Don't want to see those two up front at all. That would probably be worst case scenario, but that is also what I'm expecting. So unless there's another lead that I would completely not expect that is not Grimmsnarl, because then I would be confused. But I'm fully expecting Grimmsnarl and either Chandelure or like Salamence. I wasn't honestly expecting Butterfree at all, which might be why it was brought this time. Honestly, these 5 fully expected. While this slot, you know, could be either Gardevoir or who was the other one? What am I missing? Kartana. Yeah, Kartana. You know, it's a variable slot. I was not expecting to to see Butterfree. But anyway, we're gonna get into it. Good luck, have fun. Game 1, baby. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, so worst case scenario lead here is gonna be Grimmsnarl, Chandelure. I can deal with Butterfree. I don't have safety goggles on my team, but I am leading Berserker, who has Fake Out, who can deal with that. Turn 1, I can also double target into that slot if I want to. Do I want to? Not really. I guess this could also be Tailwind. But I'm more worried about Trick Room, if I'm being honest. So this is the lead that I wanted to go with. And then in back, aside from Mudsdale, Alecki looks good. And then I think I need Gyarados to deal with the Mudsdale. Because like Mudsdale, I know Ground is super effective against 4 of the Mons I brought. But we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore that. I feel like these were the best 6 that I could bring. And this is the lead that would have been worst case that I was expecting. So, the reason being Fake Out with Berserker, who, you know, being prepared for Fake Out in any lead scenario is probably the best case. Or I guess worst case. You're preparing for worst case, so you prepare for Fake Out. Yeah, Chandelure unaffected. And then I could also just Fake Out into Grimmsnarl to prevent, you know, a screen going up, because I'm fully expecting screens to go up here, and, you know, there's really not a whole lot I can do about that. But Chandelure, if I ignore it, can also just set up Trick Room, which is a problem. So my goal here is to taunt into the Chandelure, who could also just Heat Wave, which would be terrible. It would be very terrible. The options that this thing has is probably one of the major issues that I have in dealing with this team, is that it can set Trick Room, it can just go for Heat Wave into this lead, which is really bad. I am Assault Vest on Lucario to tank one, and then Berserker is Sash, so it should also tank one, unless it gets burned, which we saw what happened with 10% chance burn last game. But we'll see. And my play this turn is to just go directly into Medium Mash into Grimmsnarl. Fake Out, okay. Not honestly what I was expecting. That I honestly didn't expect Fake Out to come here. This might just be testing game 1 to see whether or not I am inner focus, and now going forward you can better prep with this lead. But Trick Room being up is not good for me. The upside is that Lucario still tanks a Heat Wave, But now Muzdale comes in, which this thing is probably the hardest thing that my team is going to be able to deal with here. And it underspeeds everything. If this thing is... do I think... Mental Herb. You know, I taunted it and I didn't even think about Trick Room. Mental Herb, that's really smart. So it's not... So this is probably high horsepower then, instead of like Bulldoze or Earthquake, which is what I was most scared of for this lead. Now, 76. This could be min speed. If it is min speed, it will underspeed both of them. I feel like my Berserker is slow enough to get away with it. This thing's gotta be stamina, right? How do I deal with this? Lucario is gonna eat a Heat Wave, probably just gets high horsepower. I could just swap Gyarados in. Go for a Shadow Claw and a Chandelure. I don't know. Yeah, like the Mudsdale was the biggest issue with this team, and I don't have a way to deal with such a tanky Pokemon. I could just let Lucario go down here. Screens didn't go up, so I don't really need him. I'm gonna Shadow Claw into Chandelure and Crunch into Chandelure. High horsepower, yeah. I am especially bulky with Assault Vest. Shadow Claw deals good damage, that's fine. Own Tempo also ignores... Alright, well my strat for this, I totally forgot Own Tempo ignores Intimidate. I am in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. This guy just Heat Waves again. Oh, it does underspeed me, doesn't it? It does. That is unfortunate. Probably stamina. I could. Is it gonna Heat Wave or like Shadow Claw into this? He could like target here, target here. I don't know what I'd do about that. There's really not much I can do. Yeah, Berserker goes down. Shadow Ball, yeah, this is... Mudsdale's a huge issue. And that thing having Mental Herb is also a problem. I kind of just had to bank on it and not running Mental Herb. And running something else. Yeah, because now Lucky's just kind of toast. Protect. I guess I just Waterfall into this slot. Oh no, Mudsdale's probably Assault Vest, I would assume. Rock Slide, see how much this does. Yeah, without Intimidate, gonna deal more damage than I like. Tank that. Oh, the flinch. Okay, alright. Okay. There's only one way I win this. Oh, son of a... Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be GG. Yeah, I just lose from here. I don't think that flinch mattered much. If I'm being honest, I was in a terrible position at that point. Like, preventing Trick Room is... This team is so not good in a Trick Room. And then, you know, being able to just slap Mental Herb on that was really smart. Oh boy, yeah, this one's gonna be a rough one. I knew that going in. And you probably just lead the same thing, right? Could lead Drapion. Drapion's not a bad lead, honestly. Now that I know this is min speed, everything I have outspeeds it. I just really like Regieleki outside Trick Room. It's just so juicy. Now that I know Grimmsnarl is fake out, he probably fakes out. Oh, he could just fake out Drapion this time. Oh man, I gotta lead Lucario, huh? No, I don't. I can lead Drapion, Berserker, Regieleki, Gyarados. Easy. Easy solution. Let's go. Easy. Because I didn't click Fake Out with Berserker. No, no, you don't know that I outspeed. No, no. And now I just hope for crit Night Slash. Yeah, crit Night Slash with Sniper. Sniper? I'm flipping a coin here into Fake Out Grip Star. Oh, man. I hope this works, man. Oh, that'd be so sick. I want Sniper to work so bad. I am Scope Lens, by the way. Scope Lens, Night Slash, and Cross Poison, both with one stage up on critical hit with Scope Lens, buffing that again. Let me toss that coin, baby. Toss me that coin. You know? Don't gamble. It never works. It doesn't end well. Oh no. Spirit Break. I have a lot of I put 4, I'm pretty sure I put 4 EVs into attack, and I'm a speed nature. So, I was relying on the crit there. And honestly, the crit may have been, no, crit with Sniper actually definitely kills, but. Chandelure, huh? Actually, I think Shadow Claw KO's here. Does he have, I outspeed Grimmsnarl. Which means he underspeeds me now. They could just double Drapion here. Nothing wants to take a Night Slash him back? Yeah, let's run it. There's Iron Head of this. Oh, it does have Reflect. No. Okay, smart. Smart. Iron Head, Steely Spirit, baby. Critical hit! Oh, Sniper! Let's go! And then Mudsdale's just gonna wash my entire team. So, Rotom. Okay, Mudsdale definitely just takes out Berserker here. I could just crit through Reflect. Duh, easy. Yeah, I have to do with the Mudsdale. Dude, Trick Room. Oh, Trick Room, man. Come on, man. Mudsdale. I'm not running protecting this guy, am I? What if I protect? No, I'm not. Man, Mudsdale, come on, man. I could just try to get some damage out of Mudsdale. Stamina boost? Or I just deal... Protect, stall, protect, stall, protect, stall. What does that get me? Absolutely nothing. I gotta go for damage here. I gotta go for Night Slash, crit into Rotom to make it safe for Gyarados, and then also Iron Head into Rotom. Maybe Flinch Chance. Don't target. Levitate. So it is running Earthquake. I saw High Horsepower game 1 and assumed it would not be running Earthquake. It is running Rock Slide, High Horsepower, Earthquake, and probably something else. And at this point, I just lose. Will-O-Wisp. Oh, it does have Will-O-Wisp. Oh my god. Yeah, this thing, on tempo, ignoring Intimidate, is a massive oversight, which I have not missed up until this game. My playing in all the other games has been perfectly fine. This one, very poor idea. Because I was, oh, I'm so dumb. I kept talking about stamina too. Oh, dude. This thing running own tempo just confused the heck out of me and made me not use my brain. Which means I could have been attacking into this without worrying about boosting its defense. Do you think they just... This is probably just Rock Slide, like, Thunderbolt. Or it could just be Earthquake to kill Aleki. And then Thunderbolt. I tank a Thunderbolt? Okay, here's what I do. This is the win con. Do I care about Rotom here? I gotta do. Waterfall does not kill Mudsdale, does it? Power up, I gotta KO the Rotom. Protect, okay. Earthquake, calculated. Immune, Thunderbolt, Wakanberry. Eat that. Tasty, power up, hit, please. It's bulky. What? My calculations? Power Whip, Oko's Rotom Wash. Okay, something in my calculations was very wrong because that did 60%. Unless it's like max bulk Rotom. Or Rotom. That's probably how you pronounce that. This is my only hope. Double Protect, please. Let's go! We're in this. We stand a chance. We stand a chance, baby! Alright. Yeah. Okay. Thunderbolt into this, and he just kills Gyarados here, and I lose. But, Waterfall, please. I should have run Hyper Beam. What was I thinking? And I had Hyper Beam, but I took it off. Rock Slide miss. The Protect. Do you go for a Lucky here? It's a roll, Rock Slide. Yeah, I lose. Okay, well. Hyper Beam wouldn't have even saved me, because then I just get destroyed. The crit at the end, cool, awesome. Yeah, that was a huge. Own tempo was a huge oversight on my part, and I didn't even recognize it. I could have played this game differently by attacking into Mudsdale. Did it matter? No, Mudsdale just wrecks my entire team. I had nothing for this thing. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was gonna end like this. There's not that I was going into it with a defeatist mindset. Call me Archeops, but I don't know. When looking at the matchup, like from the spreadsheet, it was just like Mudsdale just like obliterates me. If you don't have a way to like reduce this thing's damage output, which, you know, if I had brought, I thought about adding Will-O-Wisp on Volcarona, but I had assumed that this would have been stamina, you know, and then you know, its damage output is still good, especially in a Volcarona. It would just be like a sitting duck. First of all, I'd have to rely on 85% burn, and then, you know, even if I do hit that, Rock Slide still 2-hit KOs it. So I don't know. This thing was a problem. I basically had to hope that it was stamina so that I could run. I mean, I guess I based my entire strategy around it being stamina, which is why I did Intimidate. But I mean, game 2 was a lot more respectable. You know, I kept it close. Again, Mudsdale just being an absolute nightmare. This thing is super tanky, especially if you slap an Assault Vest on it. It's like, it's got absurd stats. Great HP, great defense with Assault Vest. Really great special defense. It's honestly not bad even without it. And then you like pair own tempo, can't get confused. You could do like Prankster Swagger Grimmsnarl into non-confusion and then +2 attack with own tempo. Then you could do stamina, which I assumed which would have been what was coming out, just because it would outlast everything on my team, even if I did get a hit. Because it looks like Waterfall, you know, with a range 2 hits, give or take. But you know, stamina, that would absolutely not 2-hit. So I assumed stamina would be what was coming out, but you know, is what it is. It was a good game. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Mudsdale, beautiful. Yeah, no, GG's Tsukaba. That was great play. You definitely knew. I mean, I said Chandelure, Grimmsnarl would have been the worst lead for me, and that's exactly what you led. So you knew what your best lead was, and you got Trick Room up, which is essentially just, not gonna say an auto win into my team, but pretty close, pretty close into my team. Which is why I bank everything on trying to prevent it, but. And like I had even considered, well, actually, let me go to my team. Well, let me go here. So this was the overall team set for both of us. This is, I mean, you've seen my team. My team hasn't changed all season. I'm still considering what, you know, free agency picks I want to do, what I want to swap out. And I have some ideas. I don't know exactly what I want to do, because a lot of these like upper mons I really like having on the team, but like something's got to give, because even like if I had brought a Scavalier, I guess I could Razor Shell into Mudsdale, but like then what? Then what? Mudsdale, again, assuming that it was going to run stamina, a Scavalier loses that battle every time. So, especially, you know, well, I guess I could get defense drop, 50% defense drops on Razor Shell is not bad, and has the opportunity to counteract stamina. But did I want to base everything on a coin toss like I did with this first turn? Oh no, sorry. It was game two. We had a Night Slash into the Chandelure, which would have KO'd had it crit, which was a 50% chance, and I failed. So, you know, relying on a coin toss is probably not how you win games, but sometimes you gotta go for it. Sometimes you gotta gamble. You gotta gamble it all. That's why you don't gamble, because more often than not you'll lose. But yeah, so this was the team that I was looking at. Butterfree in the team preview was surprising. I mean, you can even tell like these bottom 4 mons have not been brought at all. Meanwhile, these top 7 have all made appearances. Every game has been Grimmsnarl Mudsdale making an appearance, which is completely understandable because Grimmsnarl is honestly probably the best Prankster user. I don't know, the Jordan VGC, like get on that, tell me. I could be wrong. But in my eyes, Grimmsnarl busted. I mean, Dark Fairy type, first of all, insane typing. Second of all, Prankster, even though it's like not like got the best defenses, I think it's like 60 HP, 60 defense, 75 special defense, something like that. Not amazing, but if you just invest fully in bulk, this thing, like you saw, can tank some hits. Especially when it just pranks their screens up. Easy, dude, easy. And then you get Spirit Break, which auto drops special attack, you know? Oh my god, dude, this guy got options for days. Switcheroo or Trick, I don't know which one it gets, probably Switcheroo. With Prankster, and then give him like Lead Ball or Iron Ball or something, or like Choice Scarf, so they're choicing into something they don't want to be in. Endless options. So planning for this thing was what I based my strategy around. In the beginning was trying to deal with Grimmsnarl. I had assumed the screens were going to get set up. The fact that it ran Fake Out was not surprising, but I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting it to try and just get screens up immediately, but I feel like seeing Berserker, who's my only Fake Out mon, probably tells you what my goal is. So that's probably why Sukaba planned for that. Kartana, I wasn't sure if it was going to make an appearance. I was prepared for it, which is why I have Volcarona. But like honestly, my Aleki was statted up to just Oko Kartana without Assault Vest anyway, because I assumed Mudsdale would have it. And even though it's not very effective, Kartana got like no special defense, so that thing just gets obliterated anyway. So I wasn't really worried about Kartana, especially outside Trick Room. I just outspeed KO. Salamence I also wasn't that worried about, specifically between Gyarados and Intimidate drops, assuming it was physical. If it was special, my Lucario had Ice Punch with Assault Vest to deal with it, and then Aleki also just outspeeds and destroys it. Aleki also outspeeds and destroys Rotom. I mean, you'll see how I EV'd my Aleki here in a minute. But this thing was just like bonkers special attack, just massive damage output. Just because this team is so tanky, and my whole plan was dealing with the screens and removing them, either preventing them or removing them, and then just having like Aleki and Lucario, Drapion, you know, Gyarados. Drapion's kind of a niche pick just to deal big sniper damage, even with or without screens, kind of like a last resort. And then Berserker with Steely Spirit to deal big damage too. And just like destroy stuff that's normally supposed to stick around for a long time. Chandelure was kind of a problem for this team. You know, I thought about bringing Landers, and honestly, like knowing what Chandelure had up front, it wouldn't have even mattered, because always led with Grimmsnarl Fake Out, probably to cover for Landorus, which is why I ran Mental Herb. So that was very smart. Oh, dude, imagine there was an item that like you one-time consumable that you absorb to prevent flinching. Oh, dude, that would change everything. Fake Out would just be so bad. Fake Out wouldn't be bad. It would just be less good, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. Just thinking off rip here, but yeah, and then. Yeah, and then Gardevoir is some sweet tech. This thing, I've seen a couple couple of moments that Sukaba's had with Gardevoir, just running specs and just taking names. So this thing was cool. I, didn't really think it was gonna make an appearance just like into my team. Like Volcarona, I guess like doesn't really want to eat a Psychic from it, but it eats the Fairy moves. It gets outsped by a bunch of stuff. It's only got base 80 speed. So and then plus like the steel types that probably he expected, like Drapion, Lucario, Berserker, Escavalier all run steel moves. So probably don't want to really bring that in the face of that. So I understand why. And then Butterfree may have just been a niche pick for Rage Powder, maybe even Tailwind, just in case. Like it looked like I was gonna run like min speed Trick Room stuff, like Boufflant, Coughing, Berserker and stuff. Escavalier all slow. So yeah. So this is what I had to look at, and it was easy to kind of figure out what the game plan was. What was difficult was doing literally anything about it. And so this is the team that I decided to bring. First off was Drapion. This is in no particular order, by the way. This is just the order that I created them. I do all my team building on a different spreadsheet, and then slap it in here. But yeah, Scope Lens Sniper. You already know how that coin toss goes. And then I invested quite a bit into special defense to make it a little more tanky on the special side, just to take like, Shadow Ball, Heat Wave, a bunch of any Rotom moves like Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, to be able to take those, eat a hit, a little bit in defense, just because he already has a pretty good defense stat, just to deal with well, he's not taking anything from Mudsdale, but any other physical attacks, maybe from Salamence and whatnot, he'd take those. 4 EVs in attack, just to buff it 1 stat point, just because I had 4 left. But the rest of it went into HP and speed. Just to, again, I planned around preventing Trick Room. The Mental Herb on the Chandelure completely prevented that. So, running speed on all my mons to make sure that they outsped. I EV'd everything to outspeed Timid, Max Speed, Rotom, which is the 3rd fastest mon on the team. The only thing that I would be outsped by is Salamence and Kartana. So had I been able to stop Trick Room, the only mon that I would have had to worry about outspeeding would have been Salamence, because Kartana was not brought to this match. And even then, Salamence wasn't even chosen on any of the squad, or either of the 2 matches. So my entire team would have outsped his entire team had I gotten Trick Room up, which would have been nice, but, it's not how it played out. Smart opponents, thinking a step ahead. But yeah, so Night Slash, Cross Poison, both stabs, both high critical hit ratios, makes sense. And then Fire Fang just for coverage into Kartana. But yeah, Drapion, Sniper, blah blah blah, fun stuff. Is what it is. You're playing with fire when you go for that strat, but I needed a Hail Mary. So next up's Gyarados with Intimidate and Wakanberry. This is to tank a Thunderbolt from Rotom, just because without it I was super dead. So I knew this would come in handy. And then the Intimidate was very specifically for Mudsdale. I only had remembered that on tempo prevented confusion. I forgot that they updated it to block Intimidate, just kind of like Inner Focus, and Oblivious. So that was on me. That was a planning mishap on my part. So I'm gonna have to be more careful about that going forward. And then the 4 moves. You've seen these moves on Gyarados before: Protect, Waterfall, Power Whip, Ice Fang. Again, Ice Fang was to deal with Salamence if I was ever in against it. Power Whip for Rotom, who was probably super bulky unless I miscalculated something somewhere. His Power Whip was... I'm dumb. He had Reflect Up. Okay, so it was gonna, it did, how much did it do? Where the heck is the, Power Up. Yeah, it did 60%, it would have done 120% without Reflect. I'm stupid, I completely forgot. So yeah, that was the strat, to just OHKO Rotom in return, take a hit KO in return, which would be a surprise factor. Reflect. Busted? No, I'm just kidding. Not busted. I just got outplayed. That's all it came down to. So, I think my outside of the miss planning for own tempo, I think this probably would have been fine. This would have been a fine strat. Yeah, that's all I got for that. I just got, and then Adamant for maximum damage in order to take out Rotom, and then also deal big damage to Mudsdale, who I was supposed to outlast with Intimidates, but yeah, we know how that goes. And then this was the hyper-offensive Regieleki set that I decided to run into this team, barring Trick Room getting up, which I wanted to prevent, like I said before. This was supposed to just destroy everything in front of it that isn't Mudsdale. So you can see that I have one bonus stat added to HP defense and special defense. The speed is EV'd to outspeed Choice Scarf Salamence. Just because I feel like you're probably not running Scarf on Kartana. It kind of relies on its the three different moves it likes to run, like Leaf Blade. What the heck is that? Whatever the move, the 70 damaging accuracy move. That's a steel type. Smart Strike. Unlike my brain. And then like Aerial Ace or something. I think it usually runs for like coverage. I don't think Kartana usually wants to lock itself into a move like that, even with its 181 base attack stat. And it's already fast enough. So this was just meant to outspeed Choice Scarf Salamence, who's the next fastest mon on the team. By 1 point, max speed Salamence, by the way, and then also just like invest everything into special attack with Transistor. These electric moves do big damage. I originally had left Electro Web on the bench for Hyper Beam, specifically in a scenario where I end up locked in against Mudsdale, but I took it off because I assumed if I was in that endgame scenario where I had Aleki versus Mudsdale inside or outside of Trick Room, that the Hyper Beam was not going to KO it, and it would just KO me anyway. So I took it off because I didn't think it was worth it. But yeah, I like the outside Trick Room, busted. And then Lucario, who I know last game basically just blew himself up to take out an opposing Pokemon with Final Gambit. This time I did not run Final Gambit specifically because I knew it could deal with Grimmsnarl without having to sacrifice itself. And also Final Gambit doesn't work into the Trick Room setter, which was Chandelure, so I figured it was kind of just pointless to sack him on for getting rid of Grimmsnarl when I can just deal big damage with Meteor Mash anyway. I also wanted to keep it alive to block Fake Out with Inner Focus, Assault Vest to tank a hit, and then also Brick Break into Grimmsnarl either to finish it off if it's at low health, or if Chandelure wasn't the other lead, I could Brick Break into that slot and just get rid of the screens for free. That was part of my strat. And then Crunch was specifically for Chandelure if I ever had a scenario where Grimmsnarl wasn't led, I wanted to double target the Trick Room user. Or in any scenario that, if I had a feeling that Mental Herb was going to be a problem, I could have just done Crunch into it immediately and ignored the Grimmsnarl, which is never fun to ignore Grimmsnarl because it's such a nuisance. But it was here for the option, and then Bullet Punch was to finish off Grimmsnarl if Trick Room did come up, which it did, but I ended up not really worrying about Grimmsnarl as much as I thought I was going to. Just because the Chandelure and Trick Room was such an issue. But it is EV'd, again, to outspeed max speed Timid Rotom, so it outspeeds everything on the team outside Salamence and Kartana. 4 special defense, just because I had 4 EVs left over, 12 in defense, just for a little bit of extra staying power. And then the majority of the rest of it was in attack, which is why Meteor Mash did absurd damage to Grimmsnarl, and not a little HP, so. And then just Jolly for speed. But Volcarona, who I didn't bring out, with Citrus Berry Flame Body. That's not really that uncommon of a set, I don't think. This one had quite a bit of bulk invested. It's not the typical super defensive Volcarona that I've run in the past. This one had a ton more HP, less defense than normal, a little special attack investment, slight special defense, and speed. Again, outspeeding Rotom by 1 point. That way, you know, I can still tank hits with Rage Powder if need be, and then also deal good damage with Giga Drain into Rotom, and then Heat Wave just for spread damage. Didn't end up bringing it. I knew it would be a risk to bring it in against Mudsdale, just because it has really good spread moves. Like we saw, it had Earthquake and Rock Slide. Rock Slide specifically dealing amazing damage into this. So it was kind of a risk to bring it in. I wanted to bring it. I was originally going to lead it, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that Volcarona can't really do anything to Chandelure, so I decided against leading it. The only benefit would have been if I had stalled out the, not necessarily the screens, but stalled out a Trick Room with Volcarona, like clicking Rage Powder and just eating hits, and then like bringing Gyarados in, and then these two, Gyarados, Volcarona, just kind of like sitting there and just existing while Chandelure is not dealing like super massive damage into either one of them, and then Grimmsnarl also can't really deal a ton of damage into either one of them. So maybe that was the play. You know, now that I know kind of how it transpired, maybe I just try to outlast Trick Room with Volcarona and Gyarados. But like that, I mean, I guess you could also just hard switch Mudsdale in, because like I guess you wouldn't want to take the Waterfall from the Gyarados, but I don't know. This matchup was rough. I knew it was gonna be rough going in, so I had to like play very, very well, and also hope that Sukaba didn't, you know, bring certain things. Like Mental Herb. There was like, my best play was to hope that he didn't have it. Sometimes your best play is to hope that your opponent doesn't think of something. Yeah, but they did, so props to you. Very, very well played. And then finally is Berserker, who just standard sash. He's not especially defensive at all, and I don't imagine I would be able to tank a Heat Wave at all. And if I did, I'd probably have to invest all my EVs and have a special defensive nature to do so. Not worth it. That's not what he's here for. He's here to deal big damage with Steely Spirit next to Lucario. Smack something with Fake Out. Big damage Iron Head. Shadow Claw for Chandelure specifically, and then Taunt was to stop Trick Room, which, as we saw, there was Mental Herb on Chandelure, so it didn't work. But outside that, this was also outsped, or perfectly EV to outspeed non-investment Grimmsnarl by 1 point. So, in the off chance that it tried to use Fake Out, which it did, that was something that did go to plan, was that my Fake Out would go first. So I could either Fake Out the Partnermon, assuming it wasn't Chandelure, or Fake Out the Grimmsnarl itself before it could Fake Out or do any sort of pranks or shenanigans. Which did end up benefiting me, but not quite enough to deal with the back end problem, which was Chandelure, Trick Room, and Mudsdale. So this was the team. I don't know. I was happy with, you know, my solutions, but my solutions also required some give from Sukaba to not do certain things, like I mentioned before. Mental Herb on Chandelure was basically the one way to cancel my strategy, and you know, having Fake Out on Grimmsnarl also covered for me running Landorus, who could just sit there and destroy Chandelure in one hit. So bringing that was really smart. There's no way for me to, you know, stop. Lucario, Quick Guard, next to Landorus, Earth Power, Chandelure. I didn't even think of that. I'm so stupid, man. That's busted. I could have just done that. Oh my god. What do you do against that? You don't do anything. I mean, I guess if you have like Salamence in back, you just switch that in. But like outside Salamence, there's nothing on that team that wants to take an Earth Power. Okay, you know, you live and you learn. I just thought of that right now. I wish I had thought of that yesterday or even an hour ago. But you live and learn. So that's gonna be it from me. GG's Sukaba. That was very well played. you knew exactly what you had to do, and you did that, and I couldn't do anything about it. So, is what it is. Good job. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of your season goes. It's been going well so far. So, you got one cracked team. So, and that's with even being able to predict your team. Like, even still, just the monsters you drafted are just stacked. Perfect synergy. So, there'll be some fun games to watch from you in the future. So, that's all I got. I'm not gonna drag this out any longer. It's like 10 p.m. So, I'm gonna wrap this up, get the video out, and then probably go to bed. So, GG's again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night.